All right, guys, welcome to Best Bet Live Saturday night. Got a 2-2 no limit deep stack game going on. Jordan Spina in the booth along with Dustin Shacklock. We're going to have Eddie Marskowski as a guest commentator.
I'm in here.
How you doing, Eddie?
Doing good. How you guys doing?
Pretty good. You
All
hear
right.
me
Mark
okay?
Marskowski, what's up, man?
All right. Is this the first hand?
First hand, jumping right in, getting live. Jumping right in, first hand, 2-2, no limit hold'em, deep stack cash. 500 max buy-in, 3 bets out the rip. Fred K putting in the 3 bet with ace jack offsuit.
All right. Is this the first hand?
First hand, jumping right in, getting live. Jumping right in, first hand, 2-2, no limit hold'em, deep stack cash. 500 max buy-in, 3 bets out the rip. Fred K putting in the 3 bet with ace jack offsuit.
Is this the first hand?
Looks like Trey puts in the 4 bet right there, takes that one down with pocket kings, ace jack in the muck. Onto the second hand of the night. 2 hands, 2 button straddles. Let's do it. Eddie Marskowski, you still in?
Yes, sir. I am here. I do fear that there's an echo, though.
Looks like Trey puts in the 4 bet. All right, I think we might have got that dialed in. Ace jack in the muck. Onto the second hand of the night. 2 hands, 2 button straddles. Let's do it.
Not on my end.
All right, guys, jumping in here. Myself, Eddie Marskowski. We're about, I think this is the 4th hand of the night.
All right. I'm back, and I think it's all good.
Back in the action, huh, bud?
All right. What do we got here? A limp from Cody. Jamie raises it up to 16 with pocket sixes. And Cody the limper is going to defend. Jack 9.
I like it. Pocket sixes versus the king 10.
Yeah, Jamie with the best hand, but Cody's not going to be folding on this flop, I wouldn't assume. Jamie continues 22 into about 35. Cody makes the call. Deuce of clubs. Doesn't look like Jamie's going to slow down. 37? Wow, fires 37. Cody snap calling again. River 3. Sixes are going to hold up here.
Pocket six is good all the way through, huh?
And then River goes check. Well played there by Jamie, getting 2 streets of value with an underpair.
2 streets with an underpair for $80 in a 2-2 game. Go Jamie.
Yeah, I like it.
I like it too.
Welcome everybody in our
Guys,
Facebook
still working
chat.
through some audio issues. We don't have the player volume up right now. We'll do our best to get it up before the end of the stream. But until then, you're stuck with myself, Eddie Marskowski, and main man Jordan Spina in the booth. Let's get it. Saturday Night Cash.
That's right. I heard there was a big list for this game, so should be no shortage of action. If we lose somebody, there's plenty of people that'll take their spots. We've already had
when I got here today, we had 28 on the list for this game.
28 people. They want to play with an American Idol, or at least American Idol contestant.
Dustin picking up some suited Broadway action here. Ace Jack of Hearts making it 20 to go.
10x, one limp. He opens to 20. Okay, yeah, nope. This was button straddled. 20s.
Over the button straddle.
Seems fairly standard. Button straddle does defend and is going to flop bottom pair, open-ended, and lead right out into the ace jack. 25. Dustin's going to make the call. This 5 on the turn is great for this button straddle range. Dustin made it 20 pre-flop. There shouldn't be a lot of hands with 6s in it that would, but a lot of 6s do defend the straddle. He's going to represent like he has it and bet 40. Dustin's going to make the call. Peel and ace are on the river. Kristen deciding if he wants to go for it here. Pot's 176. $80. Christian called 40 on the turn. Oh, excuse me. This is all wrong. Dustin was leading that whole time. Christian was calling with a bottom pair. And now he folds the river. Good fold. Had the best hand when he called. Folded when he got beat. Well, welcome everyone in our Facebook chat. Sean Bernier, Greg Goder, Yancey Guthrie, Antonio, Diane Casino. Welcome everyone. I am Eddie Marskoski. This is 2-2 no limit. Deep, so this is a 500 max buy-in. As you see in our 8 seat, that is former American Idol contestant William Hung. You may recognize him a while back on American Idol. I think he did a Ricky Martin song, and the world fell in love with him. Now he's a motivational speaker, travels the world. Obviously into poker, found out through Bart Hansen, through Bart Hansen's videos that this place existed, Best Bet, and got a hold of staff and said he wanted to come down. So here he is. Actually took second in the charity tournament a couple nights ago. Don't know what he paid. Don't know what he was paid, but I know first was some cash and a year's worth of Jonathan Little coaching. So coming up just short of that. Congratulations to Scott Miller, who did take that tournament down and will receive that year's worth of coaching. Wow, looks like GP calls river with ace high for 45. Christian, who value bet his queen, is going to get paid off. No shortage of action here in the early going. Button straddles. Ace high river calls. Looks like he might be digging for some more money. Maybe not. Oh, yeah, there you go. Black chip added. At least one black chip.
We got some action early on in this 2-2 no limit deep stack cash game.
Yeah, I like it. I tell you what, had I known there was going to be this action, maybe I would have tried to get on that list.
Saturday night, man. 30 on the list.
We played that 2-5 deep the other night, and the game was pretty good. Had some issues with the live stream. I should have considered playing this 2-2.
That's right, man. The 2-2 deep stack cash is the nuts, but this is my favorite game to stream, favorite game to commentate, favorite game to watch.
Yeah, they get after it, huh?
They do. It's almost like they forget what stakes they're playing.
Well, when it's deep like this and there's button straddles, really the quote unquote stakes that the room says it is doesn't matter. You know, that's what's great about these deep games. Like, you can make the game as big as you want, pretty much. You know, there's 2-5 games that play like 5-10 and 10-20 games at times around here. So
Right.
no doubt that 1-2 games can start playing like a 2-5 game. That's for sure. Greg Goder on Facebook said, "How did William do in the live game a couple days ago?" I tell you what, it wasn't big one way or the other. I'm not sure if it was a win or a loss. Possibly,
I think it was real close.
Yeah, possibly slight loser, but definitely not much at all. If so, I actually thought he played really well. I was hoping that he was going to play worse. tell you the truth, I was hoping that we were going to have somebody spewing some money, but he definitely was not spewing. Played smart, and I thought very strategic. You know, he showed a couple bluffs. He was going after it. Obviously, had some good value bets in there as well. Played good. I think we're going to see some solid play from him tonight.
You know, William's been here since Wednesday, playing every night in the room, and he puts in some hours, man. He's been here as much time as I've been here working. He's been here playing.
Well, yeah, that's why he's here. You know, he doesn't. His house isn't here. He traveled here just for this. That's what he's going to do. I know he has.
He's the real deal. Put in those grinder hours.
Yeah, I know he has some obligations in Orlando at some point, but he definitely devoted this weekend to Best Bet. Gonna see what the talk is all about. Who can blame him? And you know, he likes it. Trey with pocket tens here, and Fred way behind, 10-7 of diamonds. Troublesome flop for Fred. He checks it over. Wow, Trey checks back the pocket tens. Interesting check back. 5 of clubs on the turn. Great card. Fred leads out. Let's see if Trey's going to go ahead and raise it up here. This is what I would assume why he checked back the flop, for deception. Now his hand's vastly under-repped. Let's see if he tries to put in a raise. Looks like he's just going to call. He does. Off to a river. Problem here is there's a lot of scare cards on the river. Here comes Jack, Queen, King, Ace. Now you're forced to just flat. Ooh, terrible card. Maybe he knew it was coming.
Wow.
Fred feeling pretty good about that river. He was feeling pretty good on the turn even. He's going to jam it all in for 353. This should be a card that lets Trey get away. Not a lot of bluffs here from Fred. I don't know what he'd be firing a bluff at. Good fold there for Trey. Fred takes down. Decent pot. Mark Roden, the Dancing Bear. Welcome to the stream, sir. Thanks for joining. It's a legend right there, Dustin. The Dancing Bear.
The Dancing Bear, I like it.
That's right.
Jordan, why don't you tell us what we got going on tonight out in the rest of the room for the high hand action? What's happening out there?
Giving away $2,900 every hour for leap year high hand. It's a packed house out there, bud.
A few minutes ago before we opened this live stream game, I looked out there. We had 41 cash games and still lists, people trying to get in the game. We're giving away $2,900 every hour
Come on down. They'll be here all night. These
Bad
games are
beat hit
good.
earlier. Had the bad beat hit earlier, right, Dustin?
Bad beat hit earlier, yep, in a 2-2 game, a 2-2 no-limit hold'em game, hit the bad beat. Somebody took home $15K for being a loser in the bad beat hand.
Strong.
Didn't even win the high hand, though. Is that right?
Didn't even qualify for the high hand. That's the real bad beat.
I'm sure they were okay with it.
All right, jumping back in here. Looks like we got a gutter ball here with the 10-9 versus the pocket fives in the lead going through the turn, right?
Yeah, well, no, Dustin with the fives in the lead. He's going to go ahead and lead. GP, who we seen call earlier, River with ace jack high, is going to raise this one to 55. I like this raise.
Little min click. Looks like he's trying to get a little value out of another queen, right?
Yeah, it looks really strong. Looks like he could have flopped a set. Somehow check the queen back on the flop, although a lot of people won't, especially with the flush draw out there. But it's really hard to defend two streets without a queen. Let's see if GP continues to tell the story. Counterfeits. He's going to beat the pocket fives at this point. Able to just check it back. Dustin going to see the bad news. He called good on the turn. Got counterfeited on the river.
GP getting there with a little bit of showdown value. Accidentally got there with ace high.
Yeah, that was plan B. Raise it up. Even if he does call me light, I got 2 overcards. I got some counterfeit cards. And I could still bluff some other cards. So a lot of options on that river, and that one helped.
All right, guys, thanks again for tuning in. Last night we ran a mega satellite, 10 seats guarantee. Stuck a bunch of players in our $300,000 guarantee coming up next month.
Very excited for that.
Eddie, you didn't have to play that one because you already got your seat, right?
No, although I would have. I'm actually, my fiance is out of town this weekend, so I am taking care of the kids all by my lonesome. So I wouldn't have been able to play that one. Wouldn't have been able to play that one anyhow. Yeah, it's a good thing. I'd rather the dad duty. We're gonna go 4 ways to the flop. 10 a man. 80 in the pot. Must have been 20 a man. Small lead here on the turn. 25 into 80.
Cody T calling with the club draw.
He's got a pair. He's got the clubs. He ends up making 2 pair.
Cody T gets there, improves to the best hand.
Dustin led the jack 9 on the turn. For such a small number, he's got to think his hand's still good. 6-7 does get there, but you don't think the guy has the 2-5. He's going to fire 55 and get snap called, it looks like. Nope. Okay, he bet 60 and gets called. Let's see the bad news. Tough to get called by worse on that river. Cody with the deuce 5 of clubs takes down a decent pot. Profits 145. Again, you're watching 2-2 no limit. Deep, 500 max buy-in.
145. These games are deep. This game is awesome. I love these games. 145. 72.5 big blinds just getting shipped. That's a small pot in this game.
Yeah, that was just rather standard. Flop went check. Small turn bet, small river bet. Yeah, this is a good game. That's why there's so many people on the list.
That's right. My randomness in the Twitch chat says, I love deep stack play. Of course. How could you not?
Yeah, we're seeing that more and more on all the televised streams and such. Actually, I've actually heard some theories. Some well-known poker players out there actually think that the game is gearing more towards super deep stack cash and like less high stakes, quote unquote stakes, but more like, let's say people playing 510 with 300,000, things like this. He thinks the game's kind of gearing that way. I don't necessarily know if I agree, but it is an interesting concept, and we are seeing more and more of these deep stack cash games. I could see it evolving even further.
I mean, have you ever watched one of our 5, 10, 25 no limit hold'em streams? That's definitely the way that it's going.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. That game gets out of control, and the same as
2,000 big
yeah,
blinds.
live at the bikes doing the same thing, even with higher stakes. Like they straddle, restraddle. People just want to gamble. I like it. Makes for great entertainment. That's for sure.
I love it. This hand, Trey picking up ace jack in the small blind. He's first to act in the straddle pot. Looks like he's just going to call. Let Christian next door do the raising.
Interesting.
Eddie, in a game like this where you know that a lot of the pots are going to go multi-way, are you just snap folding a hand like 6-4 suited right there? A hand that plays really well multi-way?
No, yeah, no, I am snap folding that. I'm not in a game that's going extra multi-way, and that's what this game is. There's going to be a lot of 3-handed, 4-handed, 5-handed, 6-handed pots because everyone wants to see flops. I'm going to be in there less with hands like that. And if I am in there with hands like that, I'm going to be raising pre-flop to get it heads up more often than not, right? Like 6-4 spades has a ton of value heads up where it has not a ton of value multi-way. And I know you think it does because, oh yeah, but you can get in there and hit something for cheap. But there's just so many times where you're flush over flush because you let queen 7 of spades come in. You let all these hands when you limp in, and even when you limp behind, you're limping behind hands that have you crushed. And when you limp up front, other people are limping behind that have you crushed. There's just too many situations where you run into coolers and are forced to pay off in certain spots. So you really don't want to play a lot of 5 and 6-way pots. It's really hard to win those pots without the best hand. You can't just get people to fold all night long. When you're in multi-way pots, you want to get it heads up 3-way where you can actually have some maneuverability and win pots without showing your hand down. These 5 and 6-way pots, you're going to see we're going to get to the river nearly every single time, and the best hand's going to win. That's just the nature of multi-way pots. But also that's what's great about the room is there's so many people playing like that. So I mean, I think it's very exploitable as well. So I would definitely advocate towards raising it up more flop. I play tighter, played a more snug range, but extra aggressive. Try to get it heads up and win pots without showdown. And of course, when you make the hands, now there's extra mystery to what you've been playing.
So you're going other end of the spectrum. You're going to tighten up in these big multi-way pots. You want to have the best hand start, middle, and finish.
Well, it's not about having the best hand. No, it's I just want to have the better range. Like I want to. When you limp behind 2-3 people, you can knock off 20% of hands. I'm not limping aces. I'm not limping kings, queens. I'm not limping ace king. Not limping ace jack. I'm not limping ace queen. Not limping king queen suited. Like there's so many hands I'm not limping behind. And now if someone's paying attention whatsoever, they know these things. So how can I rep this big range later in the hand if I played it so passively pre-flop, right? So it's not conducive for winning pots without having the best hand. And if you want to win at poker, you need to be able to win pots without having the best hand.
Okay, I'll pick it up what you're putting down. I smell what you're cooking over there. Look at Jamie getting there on the river with the 8-5 suited.
How about that? Back door.
And he's got a guy betting into him.
Three nines on board. This may be a fold. Cody betting with the 3 high. I love it. There's no way he could win this pot. Jamie accidentally backdoors into a flush, and now I was wondering, did that card just cost him money? Antonio De La Cruz on Facebook says he agrees with what I'm saying there. Antonio is a tournament grinder. Crusher as of late as well. Congratulations on your recent success, sir.
Congrats, man. Well done. It's hard to win a tournament, right, Eddie?
Very, very hard.
Very, very, very.
I mean, it's hard. It's hard to double
It's hard
up
to
in
win
it.
with a flush. Look at
hard.
Jamie in the tank right now.
It's hard to double up in a tournament, much less go the entire way and then ship the whole thing.
Oh,
I fire a lot of bullets where there's not even a double up. Jamie really in the tank here. Yeah, you doubled up once? I don't believe you.
Yeah, I got to double up one time.
I've seen you play. You definitely have never doubled
up. Got him.
He makes the call. Good call by Jamie.
Gets the check mark. Takes it down.
Well done.
Oh, maybe we had a misclick on the graphics there.
Yeah, this is terrible. All right, just disregard all of that. We'll just continue talking about other things.
Bad call, Jamie. Very bad call. Looks like Cody might have at least had some sort of pair, improved to a full house.
Yeah, maybe he had 2s or 3s. We know he didn't look him up with the 2-3.
Sure, that makes sense. All right, we're on to the next one. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out with myself, Eddie Marskoski, Jordan Spina in the booth.
Two no limit.
Hey, Dustin, just checked with the guys. Ace deuce won that hand.
He did have an ace.
Not 3 deuce, ace deuce.
Ace deuce, okay.
Ace. So he had 9s full of aces. You're right, Eddie. Jamie got caught up. That last heart cost him a little bit of money.
Yeah, didn't want to make that flush. Didn't want to backdoor it.
That's all right. Turns right back around. Picks up ace-king offsuit in the hijack.
Yeah, no problem. 5-3 deuce, 2 hearts.
Pot.
Goes ahead and continuation bet. Yeah, I like it. Gets king 7 to fold.
All right, Jamie trying to get some of it back. Picks up a little bit there with ace-king offsuit. If you guys are wondering, these guys are eligible for that $2,900 high hand all the way up until midnight tonight. Also, we still got a bunch of games out in the room. If you guys are in the area, come jump in.
Yeah, like Dustin said,
$2,900.
over 40 cash tables going on right now. Lots of money out there. Whenever you have these promotions, of course the promotions are great, and if you could somehow, win that promotion, that'd be awesome. But really, the value is in the players that it brings to the room. When you have all these players, you're going to have a lot of bad players because it's hard to be good at poker. So the more players equals the more bad players. The more bad players equals the more opportunities to make money. So, it just becomes a more plus EV situation.
If anybody was wondering, that is William Hung there in the 8 seat.
Oh, William playing his first hand of the night in the big blind, 10-7 suited.
Yeah. Yeah, he is.
Nope, no hand. Looks like he let that one go. Pretty good turn card for 10-7 of hearts, though. This one getting check,
Looks
check, check
like
all the
Fred
way
K
around.
trying to get tricky with jacks under the gun. Is that what happened here?
If these graphics are right, yeah, he's going to fire out. Much to his chagrin, no one has anything. He bets 25 into 20.
GP
Oh,
calling with the case
yeah.
jack, right?
GP did have the jack. Good enough to call 25 with. Fred's going to get a little bit of action for his slow play.
My randomness says, wish I was in town for the high hands tonight. For sure, missing out. 2,900 going out every hour. Both locations. That's one of those spots where you limp jacks under the gun, trying to get a little tricky, and sometimes it backfires. You know, everyone just limps behind. Nobody raises. And then you flop a set, and then what do you do?
Yeah,
How do you rep a big hand now?
That's a scary spot when you limp jacks and no one raises as well. But fortunately for him, you peel the case jack, and somebody else makes two pair.
It's kind of a tough spot, especially like that's such a good board for a tricky play, but like you didn't raise pre-flop under the gun. How are you going to rep any ace? How are you going to rep a set of jacks in that spot? It's kind of a weird spot when you limp jacks under the gun.
Well, I mean, and the bad thing is he does have that monster hand, but now that he limped, I mean, he can have anything. So when you're five ways, people can have the ace five, any ace X that paired up. It's a better full house, and there's so many people in the pot now. They think, well, you can easily have that. So it's much harder to bluff in multi-way pots because someone has a pretty good hand usually, and it's scary to bluff into multiple people. Like you don't see a lot of bluffs into 3, 4, and 5 people because those bluffs are just unlikely to work. You know, historically speaking, you know, one of these guys are going to call. It's hard to get a bluff through when your head's up, much less if you're five ways, you know, and you're just betting into people you have no idea what they have. You're just randomly bluffing. So you want to put yourself in profitable situations. You know, you don't want to play all these multi-way pots and then put yourself in spots where the only way to win to bluff, and then you're bluffing into multiple people. You're not going to come out ahead. Bluffing, it's too easy to get looked up. You know, it's too often that you're looked up in multi-way pots. So really, you know, these guys that are limping a lot, trying to see a lot of flops, you can be fairly sure that they're playing straightforward. So when they do show some big action in these multi-way pots and fire away, you can be pretty sure they got it because that's what they're doing. They're playing bingo. They're limping in, trying to see cheap flops, and then when they hit, they try to get paid. So many people have this approach, especially the lower stakes you go. You know, you're not going to see a lot of that at 5-10. You're going to see a good bit of that at 2-5, and you're going to see a ton of it at 2-2. I mean, it's mostly what they're doing. Everyone wants to see cheap flops and, you know, try to get paid when they flop their set or two pair. So it's very easy to make big folds in the lower stakes as well, because a lot of times people are just playing face up, which obviously makes the game, you know, a little more profitable too. If you can find out ways to exploit that, you know, take advantage, make your big laydowns, and also find spots where, you know, these amateur players feel they have a big hand, but you have something bigger. You know, a lot of times they don't understand pot control or, you know, pot to stack ratio. So I mean, sometimes you know, a guy's got ace king on an ace 3-7 flop, and you got pocket sevens, and he's just never folding. You can get in heaps. You know, if the pot's 50, you can just bet 90. He doesn't know. He just knows he's got top pair, top kicker, and he's not going to fold. And then on the turn, you know, the pot's 250, you can bet 400 and get his whole stack. Because they're not studying these types of things. They're more playing their hands, and when they hit, they didn't come to fold.
You're right, man, especially during these big promos.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, the 2-2 games are ate up with this type of action.
I can tell you from experience today. I jumped in the box. I had to relieve a dealer. I jumped in the box for about 20 minutes and dealt a bunch of hands, and everyone's just trying to get to the flop, see if they can make one of those big high hands.
Yeah, there's so much money to be taken. I mean, you can when they're all limping for two, trying to make these weird high hands, so they're limping all their small suited connectors, trying to make straight flushes, and they're limping all these small pocket pairs, trying to hit their quads or whatever. You can just take advantage and just print money. You know, you get 3-4 limpers to you, you just pop it up to 20 every time on the button. Very likely they're all going to fold because they want to play bingo, but they want to play cheap bingo. You know, they don't want to put in 10% of their stack because they go broke that way. So they'll just limp fold, and when they limp play back, it's because they had it. They're not putting a move on. They're not suddenly getting, aggressive. They just have the hand. So you can just simply fold and then raise them all next time and do it again, and they'll fold again. Of course, this isn't with any hand you're dealt on the button, but I wouldn't be limping behind multiple limpers with very many hands. If I were to play the hand, I'd come in for a raise every time, and rather large, and then I'd do that with all my hands. That way, they don't know if it's ace ace, ace king, ace queen queen, or if it's 8-9 of spades, 10 jack off, pocket sevens.
There you go, guys. Getting free lessons from the man himself, main man, Eddie Marskoski. Getting you guys a free lesson right here. Best Bet Live. It pays to tune in.
That's right. Thanks for everyone for tuning in. Ryan Jacobson, just joining the Facebook chat. What's up, buddy?
Ryan Jacobson, what's up, bud? All right, Bud moves on to the next one. No straddle this hand. Trey getting rid of the Jack-9 offsuit under the gun. Pocket fives for GP. Uh-oh. Thomas picking up big slick suited in middle position here over the raise from GP. Wow, Jamie picking up ace-queen suited. He's in bad shape.
Ace queen in the small blind with a raise and a re-raise. Jamie wants to see a flop here. He's going to make the call. GP, we haven't seen him fold yet. He's definitely going to call. We're going to go 3 ways to the flop.
This game is
137 in the middle. 6-4-2 rainbow.
GP's equity skyrocket there.
GP in pretty good shape. Jamie and Thomas sharing an ace. Thomas going to fire 125, repping aces and kings here. Jamie's forced to lay down the ace queen. Now let's see what GP does with the fives. He only has 355. If these graphics are correct, he may have more. I think that's a black chip. I think he has over 400. Maybe 455. Yeah, because we saw him add on. He's going to make the call. This pot is ballooning. Queen of diamonds on the turn. Jamie can't like that. 387 in this pot. Thomas 3-bet pre-flop, then fired basically a pot-sized bet on the flop. Now the queen of diamonds on the turn. Thomas jams it all in and gets GP to fold the best hand. Well played there by Thomas. GP had to put him on an overpair. Appreciate you, Antonio. Thanks for tuning in, buddy. We'll see you out there on the circuit. Guns 3-3 says jam, more like a reach for chips. Yeah. All he had to do was act like he was going to grab chips, and GP snap folded. Oh, Williams going to limp the pocket kings here. Looks like this one's going to go check, check, small and big. Williams does not want to see that. A lot of trash out there with Williams kings. Uh-oh, trouble. Jack 6-3. Trey in the big blind. Check Jack 3. Fires out $5. And Williams pocket kings is going to raise it to 15. Looks like Trey's going to re-raise 30. We're just clicking buttons here. Now William is going to have to make the call, but he doesn't like what's happening. Uh-oh. He likes this. Monster turn card. King of spades, giving William set of kings, top set, the nuts. Trey has Jack 3 here. Worst card in the deck for Trey. Trey fires out 25. William just says all in, 450. He wants to get it all. Trey has about 265 or so behind. Now, these weird sizes on the flop and here on the turn has it where Trey hasn't put a ton of his chips in. Bet 25 here. It was 30 on the flop. That's 55. $2 pre-flop. He only had $57 in. He has to call off over 250 more. He does make the call. And William is going to take about 300 here from Trey. Limps the kings. Gets out flopped. Gets raised on the flop. Min raise, so he has to call. Spikes the best card in the deck, the king. Understand that his opponent must have a strong hand because he just re-raised him on the flop. So instead of trying to raise small and get it on 2 streets, William Hung decides to go for it, all of it on 1 street. And we see it works. Well played by William Hung. Tough break there for Trey. He was lined up pretty nicely to win some chips that hand, but as we know, you're never safe. Chris Reed, welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining.
What a great turn card for William Hung that hand.
Gin. Always gin.
Always Jim.
Gin, always gin.
William Hung's one of those guys. He's just got that good juju, you know. Good things happen to good people. William Hung's. I've spent a lot of time talking to him this past week. He's got some good juju.
Agreed. Very nice guy. Very positive. Speaking of positive, here we go. Another big hand brewing. William makes it 15 with ace king. Cody, queen jack of clubs, flats the 15. Dustin's going to 3-bet 2 aces to 50. William just off a big pot.
I think this is a great size by Dustin. It's not enough for anyone to fold.
Yeah, I don't love the size because it's letting me know that he's not afraid of any hands, you know. And when it's never a bluff because you would never choose this sizing with a bluff because with a bluff you want people to fold. And when you make it 50, he's basically saying, I don't want anyone to fold. I just want you guys to put more money in this pot. So which hands do that? Aces, possibly kings, but even kings sometimes are scared. I think the sizing's a little small. I'd like to keep my size maybe like 65 there so I could do it with bluffs and very strong hands.
Looks like Dustin coming out with about 120 here on the flop.
Yeah, this was big sizing really big sizing on the flop. William's going to easily be able to get rid of the ace king. Cody does flop top pair. But he had to have an idea that he could have been up against some pretty strong hands in the beginning. This hand was opened. Cody flatted 15, and then 3-bet. The opener called William, and then Cody closed the action by calling. Flopping top pair is going to be very tough to lay it down on one street. He does make the call. That was 120 into 150. Ten of diamonds on the turn.
Pretty good shape to get it all from Cody here. Cody's only got about 200 behind after that 120 flop call.
Yeah, I'm sure this will be a check all-in situation. Cody actually does pick up some equity on this turn. Now he has a gut shot, any 9. It's going to give him a straight as well. That's his. Looks like Cody's got way more than 208 back there. So this is going to be an all-in from Dustin for 267. Dustin telling the story here. I 3-bet pre-flop. I bet 3/4 pot on the flop. I jam the turn. I have aces. I have kings. Let's see if Cody can sniff it out. Not a lot of value we beat here. Would Dustin do this with pocket jacks? Probably not. Maybe a very small percentage of the time. Would he do this with ace king? Again, maybe a very small percentage of the time. He's just so heavily weighted towards value hands here. Tanya Garecki just joining the Facebook chat. Welcome to the stream, ma'am. Little Nicky just joining. Welcome, sir. I am Eddie Marskoski. You are watching 2-2 No Limit. Deep 500 max buy-in. This is Best Bet Live coming to you from Jacksonville, Florida. Best Bet the boss.
Boss man tuning in the chat. What's happening, boss?
That's right.
Cody gonna take hard here.
Yeah, Cody wants to call.
Top pair, gutter
He
ball.
wants to call, but he doesn't like it. He doesn't like this feeling. Something's telling him this doesn't feel right. But I got top pair. I got top pair, and I turned equity. And he makes the call.
Little bit of a sweat for the aces.
Yep, jack, 9, queen. Not that one. That one ain't going to do
Or
it.
just top set on the river.
Dustin going to get the big double up. And William Hung is going to be happy to see that he had ace-king against aces and lost the bare minimum. Just Poker 88 on Twitch says, "Who are the voices?" I am Eddie Marskoski, and the other voice you're hearing is Dustin Shacklock. Jordan.
Plus, we got main man Jordan Spina in the booth with us.
Yep, Jordan every now and then is going to be chiming in.
Yeah, guys, we're that was the 20th hand of the night. Going to run some stacks, current stacks up right now. These are the wins and losses so far.
There you go, Dustin.
20 hands in.
Dustin up
You know, I
370.
expected to see a little bigger swings.
Well, we're 20 hands in, Dustin. Give it time. There's two
Okay,
orbits.
All right, you're right. Fair point.
2 orbits, and there's guys up a couple buy-ins, a couple standard buy-ins.
Yeah, you're right. I've been spoiled. Been watching too much Best Bet Live.
Yeah, you've been seeing George just play massive pots all the time at the 5, 10, 25. Just Poker 88 on Twitch says it's Clive. C Live, what's up, buddy? Welcome to the stream. Good to hear from you. Todd Davis in the Facebook chat. What's up, buddy? Ryan North. Jason Catcham says, "What's up? I'm new to the stream. Welcome, sir. Glad you're tuned in. I'm Eddie Marskoski. This is 2-2, no limit, $500 max buy-in. Go 4 ways here. This flop gets checked around. Let's give it a minute.
Looks like we got a slight
graphics
glitch in the
figure it out.
graphics here in this hand. Trying to get caught up.
Doesn't look like a lot's happening.
Looks like we did have some flop action, but we didn't catch it. Well, that's unfortunate, but it looks like Christian rakes one in. Ryan North in the chat. What's up, buddy? Guns333 in the Twitch chat says, if at a 2-2 game you think it's a hard fold, you need to reevaluate your game. Talking about the Queen Jack hand.
Well, that's his opinion. I do think I'm not saying maybe you need to reevaluate your game, but maybe you could have, if you think that's a tough fold. Christian going to raise the ace-3 offsuit on the button here to 20. Okay. GP goes all in from the small blind for over 300. Takes it down. Ace-7 off. Interesting sizing there from GP in our small blind. Game is good if that's the case. We got a button straddle here. Cody picking up 2 queens. Straddle is to $4. Cody going to raise it up to 30.
Cody putting the green chips in play here. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like anybody has anything to call him with.
I think we're seeing a flop. Somebody called. Kristen called with King Jack.
There it is.
Ace, 8. C-bet 45 is going to take it down. On to the next one. We've seen button straddles to 10, under the gun straddles to 4. Seen some river calls with ace high, no good.
I love it. I love the 2-2 deep stream.
Yeah, I've seen a 3-bet 20x jam. Cody's going to raise the pocket 5s, $10.
We saw him do this earlier with 5s.
William Hung in the small blind, 2 6s, going to make the call. Yeah, it looks like Cody's coming in for raises. Not going to be open limping. Jack 10-7, 2 clubs. Terrible flop for both hands. Cody's going to go ahead and represent a strong range since he did open under the gun. William forced to fold the better hand.
Looks like William might have folded before Cody even got his chips out.
Yeah, that flop for 2 red 6s. It's not what you were wanting to see.
No bueno.
Fortunately for the 2 red 5s, wanting to see your opponent snap fold is exactly what you want. Dandy 9900 on Twitch says these guys have no idea what ranges are. That's actually a good point. A lot of times you can find yourself in a little trouble in these low stakes games when you're kind of overthinking what the other players are thinking. Sometimes you're playing against opponents that just aren't thinking. Now, I'm not saying anyone at this table is one of those type of opponents, but you will find that the lower stakes, some players just don't have a lot of strategy going on. They're literally just playing their 2 cards, and whatever the price is, they're paying. They're not thinking about all the extra factors that go in, which is why, low stakes poker can be very profitable. Looks like we got another big hand here. Fred 4-bet the ace 6 of clubs. Well, graphics catching up. My randomness on Twitch saying people don't seem to think about ranges. Yeah. Yeah, that's why you got to consider your opponent. In a lot of these situations, you got to kind of figure out who's thinking and on what level they're thinking on. Like that's what's kind of tough if you have a vast array of different skill levels at the lower stakes. People just beginning, people, have been playing for a little bit, trying to learn a little bit, people that aren't trying to learn at all. They're just, recreational, social type players. And then you got some people that are playing for a living, even at 2-2. They come in here and they grind out a couple $100 a day because of all the recreational type players. Couple limps from Jamie and Trey. GP is going to pop it up to 15 with ace-10 offsuit. Trey did limp the ace-queen of clubs. And now Dustin 3-bets ace-king to 40 from the big blind. Interesting spot here for Trey after limping the ace-queen of clubs. He's just going to go ahead and lay it down. Loses $2 on the hand, and he's actually crushed by Dustin. GP is going to defend with his ace-10. Oh, wow. Ace-queen 7. Trey not happy with that flop. Dustin and GP are happy. GP's going to see the bad news here shortly. We assume Dustin's going to fire 50. GP's going to make the call. So Dustin's got over 700. GP's got 250 left. Dustin's thinking about how we can get all these chips in the middle. Pot's 186 right now. You want to get 250 in. Maybe you go 100 on the turn, 150 on the river. Dustin's going to go a little lighter. He's going to go 80 on the turn. 85. Max buy-in for this game is 500. 2-2 no limit, $500 max buy-in. GP forced to call again with this top pair, 10 kicker. Dustin giving him a pretty good price. Although GP should be thinking, would Dustin be using this sizing with any bluffs whatsoever? Are there any bluffs in Dustin's range? Would he be 3-betting from the big blind and then hitting an ace-high flop and firing all 3 streets without an ace? Very unlikely. There's the big river bet, 150. It's going to be nearly, looks like GP had more than the graphic says there. So he's got about 250 left. GP wondering if he can find a fold on this river. He does find the fold. Looks like there was some table talk. Maybe Dustin gave away a little something. It's going to show him. It's going to show him that he made the good fold. Trey, who folded the ace queen of clubs pre-flop, is not going to be happy to see that. Notice he could have just straight doubled up if he'd have called $40 pre after limping. He limped for 2. GP made it 15. Big blind makes it 40. Ace queen of clubs finds the muck. Flop comes ace queen high. Seth, Alexander Griffin, welcome to the streams, boys. Thanks for joining.
What's happening out there, guys? What's happening out there, guys?
Welcome back, sir. This is amazing, Dandy says on Twitch.
Says Trey just threw up in his mouth that hand.
Yeah, Trey would have flopped top 2 pair against top and would have won a big one. Looks like Christian opens king 9 of hearts to 15 and gets 3 callers. Fred's going to bet 20 with his flush draw. Oh, excuse me, no flush draw. He's got 10-9 offsuit. Cody, who flopped middle set, is going to put a little raise in. Not going to like that. Gets quick folds. Was hoping to get some more money that hand. On to the next. Appreciate you, Seth. Thanks for tuning in at work.
Says you can't miss Big E commentary.
I appreciate that.
I love that. Looks like it's Thomas picking up pocket kings this hand.
Trey with ace jack in the big blind. It's going to make the good fold. It's like Thomas made it 50.
Dandy 9900 says I play in West Palm Beach.
It's like we have straddle to 4 this hand. Button straddle. Jamie on the button. Wakes up with the ace 9 of hearts, and he's going to make it 20 after 2 limps. Cody limped the old 7-4 offsuit, and Thomas limped the old ace 8 offsuit. Thomas makes the call. Cody finds the muck, which he should have done earlier. What do I know? 7-7-10. Cody should have called. Wow, Thomas leads right out for 35 while he's ordering food. Looks very strong, and Jamie's forced to lay down the best hand. Well done with the ace 8 there for Thomas. Miss Chris Reed in the Facebook chat. Welcome, ma'am. Glad to have you here.
Eddie Marscassi, local tournament celebrity.
Tournament celebrity. Interesting. I'll take it. Tournament donk, you mean?
Jordan Speed in the booth. Tell us what we got coming up here for the WPT Deep Stacks Mega in the next week or two.
Yeah, you got event 1 starting March 20th. $100,000 guarantee. It's going to be a $360 buy-in. 20,000 starting chips, 30-minute levels. Should be a lot of fun. Should be a big turnout. Starts event 1, March 20th.
I don't know if it's just me, but I'm hearing some feedback on both of you guys' mics whenever you say anything.
Yeah, we're getting that also. We're trying to figure it out over here.
Probably better not to say anything, honestly. I'll see if I can fill in your word gaps. A lot of talk in the Twitch chat about these players not considering each other's ranges. Yeah, we went over that a little bit. These low stake games, you know, you're gonna find a lot of players playing their cards face up. And a lot of players that just don't know how to construct ranges very well. You know, they don't have all the information. You know, they haven't put the hours in studying, or they just started playing the game. Obviously, you can't play any lower in the poke room than 2-2. So for anyone who's beginning and wanting to play for a little money and trying to learn the game, you're kind of forced to play 2-2. Okay, Cody open limps the King 9 offsuit under the gun +2. Dustin raising it up with the 7-6 of hearts to 20. I like it. My randomness on Twitch saying, or you could just play 2-4 limit. Yeah, but that's a definitely much different game. If you're trying to learn no limit, playing 2-4 limit isn't going to help much. If you're trying to learn poker, of course, playing 2-4 limit can help you learn the basics. But if you're trying to learn and improve at the game of no limit hold'em, you're not going to learn anything playing 2-4. So Jamie calls with the Jack 9 suited. Thomas calls with a mystery hand, and Cody, after limping the King 9, is going to defend or not. Quick bet on the flop, and everyone snap folds. If you're just tuning in and you find that man in the 8-seat familiar, that is former American Idol contestant William Hung. William Hung was in this neck of the woods on some business. He's a motivational speaker, had a speaking engagement in Orlando, and heard about Best Bet live and wanted to come down and see for himself what it was all about. It's been here all weekend long, played the 2-5 deep live stream the other night, and then made the final table and finished second in the All In for STEM charity 2 nights ago. And then now tonight, jumping in the 2-2 live stream. Busy poker weekend for William Hung. We're glad to have him here at Best Bet. I played with him in that 2-5 deep game the other night. Very nice gentleman, and I thought he was a very, very good poker player. Played very well. Didn't make mistakes. You can tell he's a very thoughtful player, strategic, studies, which I was not too pleased with. I was hoping he was going to be some spewy, rich, former celebrity. He wasn't. He was smart, calculated, good poker player. Cody with the 4-5 off, flops open ender. Christian ends up making a flush here on the turn. Christian going to bet that flush. Thomas with 2 black 5s. Going to make the good fold. Now Cody with open-ended and a 5 of diamonds. He may think that 5 of diamonds might be a live flush draw as well. We know he's dominated. Can't win. King of hearts on the turn. Or on the river, excuse me. Cody's going to check his 5 high, decide not to bluff. Christian puts a bet out, and Cody's going to snap fold. Christian profits about $100 that hand. You're watching 2-2 No Limit. I'm Eddie Marskoski in the booth, joined by Dustin Shacklock and Jordan Spieth, but they're trying to fix their mic issues. So right now you got me. Dustin's going to open the ace-10 off to 15. He's sitting on about 1,000 in his stack, very deep. Looks like Christian in the hijack calls with Jack 10. And now Fred from the big blind is going to 3-bet the ace-king offsuit to 65. I like this sizing. Dustin's forced to fold. Now is Christian going to call in position with Jack 10 offsuit? Doesn't look like it. Oh, no, he does see a flop. Heads up to the flop. We got 147 in the middle. Can't see the flop, but I don't see any Broadway cards. Can't exactly tell what it is. I believe the flop went check, check. Fred checks the turn, and now Christian bets out 75. Oh, Christian flops the nuts. No, excuse me. He does not. 9-7-5 was the flop. Christian flops a gut shot. Was the turn the 8? No, he did flop the nuts. Turn was a 5. Christian bet. Fred called with his ace high, drawing dead. Fred checks the river. Queen on the river. Christian's going to bet 100 and get a snap fold from Fred. So we did see Christian did flop the nuts. It was 7, 8, 9. The graphics are a little off, but the camera doesn't lie. We got a live straddle under the gun to 4. Looks like William Hung's going to raise this one up to 20. Announcer, can we talk about the time I got angle shot by GP at Best Bet? Well, I'm probably not going to talk about it on air, but feel free to type whatever you want in the chat. If I deem it necessary to go on air, maybe I'll say it. Probably not going to accuse anyone of angle shooting, though, just from a random chat member. But you never know. So it looks like William opened the 10-jack offsuit, and now Dustin 3-bets the straddle to 60. 40 more. Cody called in the middle, and now Cody's deciding whether or not to call the re-raise, and nope, he's going to make the fold. Seen a good amount of 3-bets here. That being said, we've seen a lot of pretty decent hands doing it, but there's also been a few times where they've been weak. We saw GP jam in the ace-7 or ace-7 offsuit 3-bet over a $20 open. He put in 280. So we're seeing some action here. Christian, one of our more active players tonight, is going to raise up the ace-king to 15. GP, another one of our more active players, is going to 3-bet pocket 2s to 40. Thomas in the hijack is going to cold call the queen 10 offsuit. Now back to Christian. Excuse me, Dustin in the big blind is going to cold call the 10-7 suited as well. Wow, back to Christian. Ace King had a perfect opportunity to stick in some more chips. He decides to just flat call too. Now we're going to go 4 ways to the flop. 7-6-5 rainbow. Somehow, some way, Dustin, after cold calling, after someone else had already cold called, with his 10-7 of diamonds, flops the best hand. Dustin with that 7 is going to fire out 75 and get everyone to fold right on the flop. Four-handed 3-bet flop. Donk lead right into everyone's going to take it down. Guys, these doors are going to be unlocked all night long down here at Best Bet Live, Jacksonville, Florida. Come on and find a seat. There's more games just like this all the way around the room. had over 40 tables going. $2,900 high hand. There is over 20 people on the list for this game. There were 28 people on the list when this game started. After seeing this, I can't imagine what that number's up to now. Here we go. A raise under the gun to 10 with jacks. Thomas, 3 bets to 30 quickly. Boom, another button cold call. What's this? What's this hand here from Cody? Ace jack of spades, cold call on the button. Dustin folds the queen nine of spades. Interesting fold. We saw him call 10-7 last hand. Uh-oh. Trey saying, no, no, no. I see you guys 3-betting a little too much. I'm going to be putting in the 4 bets now. We should have seen this last hand with the ace-king. We didn't. Now we see it here. Trey with the jacks is going to put the 4 bet into 120. I like it. You got a small 3-bet size to 30 and then 2 callers. You don't want to just flat behind and turn your jacks into a set mining situation. Go ahead and find a 4 bet. Every now and then we got a 4 bet without aces, guys. Excuse me, that 4 bet. Yep, it's a 120. And then Thomas called with his ace-10 of diamonds. Now Cody on the button. He's going to put it all in. Cody cold calling the 3-bet pre-flop. And now jamming over top. Well, no, it's about the, what is it? No, that is a side pot. So it was actually a little less. Nope, it was 70 more. So then he jams over the 4 bet for 70 more. Both players have to call, of course. 10 high flop. Just what the doctor ordered for Trey. Terrible situation here for Thomas. $600 in the middle. Not sure what Trey's waiting on. Okay, yeah, we're all in a call. Trey all in for 235. Thomas, I imagine snap called him with his top pair, top kicker. Trey going to flip over the pocket jacks and take it all down. Big triple up nearly there for Trey. He's going to profit $650. Best Bet Live, Jacksonville, Florida, guys. 2-2 no limit. Live stream. Come on down. Chips are flying. Our dealer, Dan, doing a great job in the box, figuring out all the logistics after that 3-way all-in situation. Looks like Cody is going to get some more chips. We are 8-handed at the moment. Cody I don't believe he's leaving the game. I think he's just going to grab some more chips. We'll be right back. GP, ace, king. Raise it up, $10. Jamie in the small blind going to come along with 9-6 suited. Trey in the big blind with the king, jack of diamonds. Going to see a flop as well. We're 4 ways as Thomas has the queen jack off. King, queen, two spades. Trey still picking up the chips from last hand. Is going to fire right out 25. GP going to smooth call with his ace king, top pair, top kicker. Leaving room for Thomas to squeeze in behind with middle pair. Now Jamie with nothing, going to make the fold. 3 waves to the turn. Three of spades on the turn, giving GP the nut flush draw now. Trey can't be too happy with seeing a third spade out there. What's that matter? Let me put some chips in there. He's grabbing. Looks like 40. 35. He led 25 on the flop. Now he leads 35 on the turn. GP gonna smooth call here. Be interested to see if GP raises a brick river. Thomas coming along again with the jack of spades, and there's the 4th spade. Terrible news for Trey. He's just going to be check giving up. And now we have the battle of the flushes. GP with the nut flush. Thomas with the 2nd nut flush. Only beat by the ace of spades because we see the king and queen are out there. If somehow GP could check, he could get all of Thomas's chips. Thomas only has 141 behind. Thomas going to be putting them all in there no matter what. GP bet 135. Thomas all in for 6 more. GP going to call with the nuts. Thomas shows him he had the jack, but it doesn't matter. GP going to profit 291 that hand. No matter what, he was going to win some chips. He was either going to get some from the king jack, or he was going to make backdoor spades and get some from Thomas. Looks like we're getting a rebuy here. Dan taking some time, shipping the chips over before we deal out this next hand. Looks like Fred's going to be adding on as well. And we're back. Button straddle. Two no limit. When they straddle this button, it's usually going to be $4. We have seen a couple $10 straddles. Trey up over 1,000 in front of him now. Dustin with about 1,000 in front. Dustin with over 1,100. GP is going to raise the ace jack of hearts to 20 under the gun. Fresh off a big pot. And Dustin's going to make the call on the cutoff with 2 mystery cards. Big flop for GP here as he flops the nut flush draw. King 6-3, 2 hearts. He's going to continuation bet here. Looks like 25 into 48. About half pot. C-Bet's going to take it down. Robbie Satterfield in the Facebook chat says, thinking of driving up Sunday, play the deep stack. What's the average range of players, number of players? I'm not sure what they get on average, but I'd venture to say they're going to get a pretty good turnout tomorrow. 60 plus, 70 plus, something like that.
60, 70 plus is a good number.
Yeah, it's usually, I mean, it doesn't get less than 60 too often, but especially on a busy weekend like this one. Does Best Bet allow a new player to match the biggest stack, or is there a max? There's a max here. Miss Sherry Pliscato on Facebook. This is this is 2-2 no limit, $500 max buy-in. So even if you bust and somebody's got 1,000, you still can only come in for the 5. Here we go, 5-way limped. This one was a button straddle.
Another one of those multi-way pots we were talking about.
Exactly. Queen 5 deuce. Christian flops a queen. But again, is he ever going to win a big pot? This is a 5-way, multi-way pot. He can't. It's not like he can get 3 streets of value, and if he does, it can't be a lot because you got a crappy queen. You got to hit 2 pair to really win big pots. 2 pair plus in these 5-way pots. He does hit trips on the river, and it goes check, check. Just looking the slow play of that river. Faded Spade in the Facebook chat. Tom, welcome. Glad to see the stream up and running again. Yes, sir. Tom, CEO of Faded Spade. Faded Spade is the company that brings you these RFID playing cards. As you see, all you have to do is show the cards to the little box in front of you, and there's a chip in the card and a chip in the table that reads what the card is, sends the information to the Best Bet employee staff that's working the laptop, working the graphics. Faded Spades, some of the best RFID playing cards out there. Highly recommended, and the owner happens to be a pretty good guy. Fred's going to raise up the pocket 5s to 15 here. Cody and Christian going to call with 2 queens, Queen 6 and Queen 7, respectively. Ace, King, 9, 2 diamonds. Fred's going to continue here, telling the story that I got an ace. He bets 15. Small bet. Doesn't matter when they call with Queen 7 and Queen 8. All right, we got a dealer change coming up. You're watching 2-2 No Limit here at Best Bet Jacks, Jacksonville, Florida. I'm Eddie Marskoski, joined by Dustin Shacklock and Jordan, our 2 technical producers.
Quick look at the wins and losses so far in the game.
Here you see Dustin, big winner. Right now he's up over $640. Cody on the bottom down over 700. William Hung in second, or up the second most, up $222. William Hung, I would say by far playing the most snug at this table. did find his way in a cooler situation. He coolered with top set. He coolered 2 pair. Was able to get max value on that top set. It's pretty much the one big hand he's won. Was able to fold out of a ace king versus king king spot, losing the minimum there as well. As we see Dustin taking down the blinds with 2 jacks.
The run good continues for Dustin.
That's right. Cruising. Cody down the most right now, but picking up the 2 queens under the gun. Let's see if he can get some chips back.
Picking up queen one time.
Open to 20 and getting snap folds all the way around. Oh, not a good sign. Not a good sight. You're down 700. You pick up the pocket queens. All these big pots have been being played all night long. This is the best hand you've been dealt. And you win the pot, and the dealer throws you 2 $1 chips. Not a good feeling, even though you win. They're hoping to have a little better score than that. A couple of queen jack suiteds here. Jamie with the queen jack of clubs. And Trey with the queen jack of hearts. Whoa. 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 Jamie opened queen jack of clubs at 20, and it looked like Trey just snap folded queen jack of hearts without a thought. GP ace jack of spades in the hijack. It's going to 3-bet to 55. Doubt Jamie's going to be going anywhere with this suited connector. He does make the call. We are going to go heads up to the flop. Eight, 5, 4, 2 clubs. Jamie does flop the queen high flush draw, and look at him leading right out here.
Jamie getting after it one time.
Yeah, he leads out the same number as the pre-flop 3-bet size. I'm not sure about that sizing. I don't know if you're going to get any hands whatsoever to fold. I'll have to come heavy on this
What a
turn.
Spicy turn card.
Super spicy. Now we know GP's not going anywhere. Tough turn for Jamie, as if it was a brick, say 2 of diamonds, he may have picked this one up. This $85 bet's just not going anywhere. Oh. Oh, I love this all in. GP going to put the pressure on. Right here, right now, all in. Jamie has about 280 behind. GP said, wow, that's one of the best turn cards for me. I turned the nut flush draw, and I have a gut shot straight. This guy led the flop, leads small on the turn. Very unlikely he has a monster. Would you lead if you had 6-7? Would you lead if you had 8-8? Would you just lead right in? And then would your sizing be so small? If you got called on the flop, you'd be kind of worried about all those clubs and all those straight cards. Your sizing would probably be a little bigger on the turn if you had a set. If you had like pocket jacks or something, this sizing just doesn't make a lot of sense. GP recognizing some of that. And is going to take it down right there. Getting Jamie to fold out a ton of equity. Well played there by GP.
Wow, what a nice pot there.
Nice pot with no showdown. Chris Parisi, welcome to the chat, or welcome to the stream, sir. Thanks for joining. GP picking up some momentum. Started off a little rocky. Jamie's going to limp the 2 6s under the gun.
Starting the domino effect. Starting the domino effect that we talk about on these small stake streams sometimes.
Yeah, you get an under the gun limper, you can see a 6-7 way flop sometimes. Christian's taking the ace-8 off, going to raise it up to 15, saying no limp pots. I like it. We are playing deep stat poker. Why do we want to limp? Let's put some money in the middle. 3 ways. Queen 8-2. Christian flops the best hand. And this one goes checked around. 7 of hearts. Jamie with the only heart out there. Christian's going to bet his 8. Jamie's going to call. Christian going to river trips. Quick bet of 50 on that river after Jamie checked his pocket 6s over. Jamie thinking about looking him up here with his 2 6s. Looks like he makes the call. He's going to see the bad news. And Christian.
Those 2 6s into the muck.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You hate that. Thought he was heroing up and saw that he was dead the whole time. I've been there a time or two. Timothy Peer on Facebook says, did he show his draw? Talking about the Queen Jack clubs hands. I don't believe so. I think he just folded. All right, GP going to open the King 10 off, up $10. GP sitting on a little over 900 now. Okay, Fred K mixing it up. 3-betting from the cutoff, the 10-6 suited. GP opened the King 10. Yeah, I like it. Like it a lot. Tell you what, you grow that beard out, he'll be looking like George. I always recommend growing the beard out. The longer the beard, the less folds you get. Longer the beard, the more they call. That's very important poker information right there, folks. I hope you're writing that one down. Thomas going to raise up the ace-10 offsuit to $16. Fred feeling good about his 10-6 of clubs, 3-bet last hand. It's going to make the call with 9-10 suited. Cody in the cutoff's going to call. Mystery cards. Dustin on the button with the ace-3 of diamonds wants to see a flop. Now Jamie with the ace-queen of clubs. Now he's got more than 16 in his hand. He's going to be looking for a sizable 3-bet. How about this size? Looks like 90. That's right. Jamie takes the ace-queen of clubs and 3-bets to 90. A lot of dead money out there. $64 worth. Plus the big blind. Takes down $66 every time this works pre-flop. Risking 90. It's a pretty profitable play. Whoa. Whoa. Gets back to Fred. And Fred is going to jam it all in with his 10-9 of diamonds. 4-bet jam. Jamie was in the small blind. Now, Jamie has about 350. Wow. Fred, who just overcalled the 16, is now trying to represent like he somehow has a big hand. Jamie with ace queen of clubs, considering making some sort of hero fold here after he already has put 90 in. He's got about 350 behind. Maybe not even 350, probably less. 325. This is just a very creative play here from Fred. Just thinking Jamie's on a straight steal, going for the full-on re-steal. Maybe if I get caught, I got some pretty good equity versus anything with a 9-10 suited. Wow, wow, and it's going to work. Wow. Jamie 3-bets the ace queen of clubs to 90 from the small blind preflop. Fred, who overcalled a raise, puts a big 4-bet in with 10-9 suited, gets the ace queen suited to lay it down. Guys, everyone out there, Best Bet Live, Jacksonville, Florida. These doors do not lock tonight. They are not locking. Open all night long.
What just happened?
Come
What
on
just
down.
happened?
Oh, we're seeing some next level stuff right here. I hope they got their pen and pad out. Fred just did the over limp or the overcall preflop and then 4-bet. Back 4-bet. Got ace queen suited to lay it down. Sema Jax on Twitch chat says, juicy game. Couldn't agree more. That's why there's over 20 people on this list. 28 people on the list of this game when we started. These lucky 9 got the seats. First come, first serve. Now we're playing a limp pot here for $2 a man, 4 ways. Queen 7-7. Dustin bets his pocket 3s. Trey makes the call. Queen on the turn. Terrible card for Dustin. Ace on the river. Somebody want to stab? Try to get somebody off a chop pot. 20 into 8. No, excuse me. 10 into 28. 10's going to get called. Looks like they. Whoa. Okay, I think Trey must have had a queen because Dustin called and folded. I thought I saw paint in Trey's hand. Not sure exactly what was going on there with the graphics. Small pot anyhow. William Hung been quiet thus far. Gonna open up the Queen Jack suited to 10. Cody gonna make the call with the King 5 of hearts. Dustin makes the call. Queen Jack offsuit. Trey folded pocket 3s on the button. What is going on? 9 deuce deuce. Two diamonds out there. William thinks this is a good enough board to c-bet, and he does. I doubt it was the 100 that the graphic says, though. I think it was more like 10. Ace on the turn. Good card for Williams' range here. He's going to lead out 25. Get Dustin to fold the best or the same hand. Does a little very small c-bet size on the flop. Gets one player to fold, another one to call. Turn card that's very advantageous to William Hung's range, being as how he opened pre-flop and c-bet the 9 deuce deuce. A lot of aces in his range. He bets the ace on the turn, even though he doesn't have it, and gets the same hand to fold. Like Christian's going to open the 2 6s on the button here to 12. Thomas going to defend the big blind with queen 5 of diamonds. 9-6-2. Christian flops middle set. Nothing much out there for Thomas. Christian's going to c-bet and get called. He's going to bet 10. It's less than the pre-flop opening. This here's another sizing tell. Like that's not going to be a bluff. Turn goes check, check. River, Christian's going to fill up. Thomas throws 25 to the wind. Let's see how much Christian makes this raise.
Incinerates that last 25.
Yeah, he did. To never see it again. Looks like he makes it 75. 85. Quick fold from Thomas. Dickie Malone, welcome to the stream, sir. Appreciate you. Ashley Wright, welcome, ma'am. Good to have you. You are tuned
All right, guys,
in.
thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out with myself, Eddie Marskoski, Jordan Spina in the booth.
Yeah, your mic's coming in still a little scratchy. Looks like we got a button straddle here to 4. Cody picking up ace-king offsuit. It's going to raise it to 15. Christian, 2 8s in the cutoff, going to make the call. And GP, our button straddler, going to defend with the king 5. Ace 10-4, Cody flops top pair. He's going to continuation bet here, 20. Looks like 25. Christian, it's going to take 2 streets for him to fold. He calls with the pocket 8s. Queen of clubs on the turn, now giving Cody a gut shot along with his top pair top kicker. Ashley says on the Facebook chat she's just here to watch Jamie play 2 hands in 2 hours. Whatever it takes to profit. Turn and river goes queen, queen. Now Cody fires 50. Christian really wanting to look him up here. Finally makes the good fold. Don't know what bluffs he would have been beating. Cody profits nearly $100 that hand. A lot of action at this table tonight. We've seen tons of 3 bets. We've seen 4 bets. We've seen bluff jams. And And we're just getting going here. Looks like we got the old standard $2 blind this hand, no straddle. We're going to see a sea of callers. Too many hands to announce. Take a look at the left-hand side of the screen. There you go, Freddie K. Not around here. Fred from the big blind says, make it 25. 10-9 of clubs. 10-9 suited. We know he's willing to put some chips in there with that hand. Folded all the way to the button. And Thomas with the Jack-5 offsuit. He's got plans for this hand. All right, this one's shaping up to be a nice big pot. 4 ways to the flop. 10, 6, 3. 1 club out there. Pretty good flop for Fred, who has the lead here and continues 45 into 100. Dustin with his 6 is going to make the call. He's also got backdoor straight, backdoor flush possibilities. Jamie with the ace-jack offsuit, complete whiff of this flop. It's going to go ahead and see a turn anyhow. We did lose 1 player. Wow. Jamie takes the lead with the jack on the turn, but it's a jack of clubs. Fred now with a 10 and a club draw. 243 already in this pot. We got a nice pot brewing. Uh-oh. Checked over to Dustin, who's got the weakest hand here with the 6-5, and he's going to lead right out, taking this opportunity to bluff. 75, not even a big number. These sizings, tough sizings here. Jamie's got 255. I feel he's going to put it all in. Yeah, Jamie goes all in. I like this jam from Jamie. I'm not sure about his flop call, but when you know a jack's going to peel on the turn, I'd call every time. Now Fred in a weird position. He checked it over and had Dustin lead 75, and then Jamie go all in for 255. You're sitting here with middle pair and a 10-high flush draw. And he started this madness, raising it from the big blind pre-flop to 25 after there were 13 limpers for $2. As you can see by the graphics here, Fred actually wins this pot a third of the time. So he's putting in 255 to win over 800. If he knew the numbers, it's a call. He's just wondering, is he dominated? Is his 9 good? Is his 10 good? Wow, he has to make tough lay down there for Fred. And now Dustin, who's just posturing, is going to fold his 6. Fred would like to see that run out. There you go. Ashley comes right in. Jamie plays a pot. All right. Go ahead and take your 2-hour break, Ashley. We'll see you. Jamie taking down a big one right there with the ace-jack. Wendy Lou, thanks for joining in the Facebook chat. Glad to have you. Wendy Lou, one of our 5-10-25 live stream regulars. Checking out some of this 2-2 action. Wait a tick. Jamie opening the ace-jack again. Back-to-back ace-jack here. He's going to raise it up to 20. Thomas going to call in the cutoff with 2 4s. Two fours still good here on the turn. Good enough for a bet from Thomas. Takes it down. Yes, that is William Hung there in the 8 seat. Actually, the 8 seat is the toughest seat to be viewed at this current camera setup. But that is William Hung of former American Idol fame. Now a traveling motivational speaker and poker enthusiast. Loves to play poker. Has been playing for years now. And from what I found out the other night at the 2-5 deep live stream game, he's not bad. Was really hoping he'd be a lot worse. Okay, some big hands here. Or at least some action. We got Trey opening up the mystery hand to 10. Thomas 3-betting 2 A's to 30. Fred on the button, cold calling 6-5 suited. Cody in the small blind going to cold call the 7-6 offsuit. Trey Okay, looks like Jamie picks up that straddled pot with a set of sevens. Jamie misses his nut flush draw. Looks like we got a button straddle of 4 here. Christian with the ace-7 in the small blind. Gonna call the 2. GP 5-4 suited, gonna raise it up to 22. Folded back to Christian with the ace-7, who's gonna lay it down. GP shows the 5 high. GP shows it, try to get action when he has a big one. Showing that he's not afraid to mix it up, raise it up, add a position with the old 5 high. Leap year high hand tonight. 229.20, $2,900 every hour. High hand. Bringing tons of action to the room tonight. This is Best Bet Live, located in Jacksonville, Florida. You're watching 2-2 No Limit. $500 max buy-in. Dustin raises the Queen Jack to 15. Trey calls King 10 suited. Christian on the button straddler defends with the 4-5. King 4-2. Dustin 4% to win this pot. Fires out $20. Trey top pair here. Looks like he's going to raise 45. Small raise. Christian's going to fold his middle pair. Dustin's going to snap fold the queen high. Looks like we're going to have an under the gun straddle this hand. Fred in the 9 seat. Straddle to 4. Cody going to open limp the 8-4 of hearts. Dustin going to do the same. Now Jamie, ace jack, calls as well. Trey, ace-4 diamonds, he limps. GP on the button, raises it up with a 6-7 of diamonds. This is what I like to see. No limping here, guys. Take your limps elsewhere. Every time you limp, you're going to get punished. We're not having no 9-way pots. 45 to go pre-flop. Fred, 3-bets to 100. Hate this sizing. Don't know why you would ever choose this sizing out of position. Players already put 45 in there, but he does decide to 3-bet to 100. We know GP is going to call. We're going to go to a flop. Small C-bet size here. 55 without seeing a flop would indicate, yep, exactly. Would indicate that he has a monster and doesn't want the other player to fold. GP did flop a gut shot. Doesn't going to matter now. Ace comes out there. Going to give Fred a full house. Fred just praying GP has an ace. Fred led 175 on that turn, and GP is able to find the quick fold. Cody, 6-4 clubs, open limp. Dustin, king 7 offsuit. Oh, excuse me, Dustin finds the muck. Jamie limps. We don't know what Jamie's hand is yet. Jamie's got the queen 6 of hearts. These guys still trying to get this limping thing to happen. Thomas raised the button to 15. Now William in the small blind with 2 kings. Re-raises 75. Back to Thomas with 2 9s. All right, Thomas makes the call. We're going to go heads up through the flop here. Couple of big pairs. All right, we got a flop out there. Looks like William's going to fire out 100 on the 7-3-2. Great flop for William. Tough board for Thomas. Don't know how he's going to find a fold to 1 bet here. He is going to make the call. We're going to go to the turn. Eight on the turn. Getting worse for Thomas. 350 in this pot. William has about 500 behind. Thomas barely covers. Looks like Thomas or Williams going to bet about 170, 165, 175. 175. Thomas makes the call. Oh, excuse me. Thomas goes all in. William calls. And William is going to double up with kings again. Williams played 3 hands. 2 of them have been kings, and 2 of them he's doubled up. Pocket nines just decides to jambo that turn in case somehow William has a flush draw, or somehow bluffing with 2 overs, trying to get him to fold out his equity. But just too often you're going to be up against big overpairs. Old Gamer Geek Dad on Twitch saying, "Wow," with the shocked emoji. Yeah. These doors are not getting locked tonight. 40 plus tables running. Best bet, Jacksonville, Florida. Come on down. Florida poker at its finest. No fold 'em, hold 'em. We love to say call. So come on down and try to bluff us. Back to the action. Christian's going to open the Queen Jack of Diamonds. $15. Fred 3-betting the ace 6 of clubs to 52. Cody, another cold call of a 3-bet. Queen 10 of clubs. Christian, the opener, Queen Jack of Diamonds, going to make the call. And Thomas also in there in the cutoff with 6-2 of diamonds. We're not going to be closing tonight. We are open 24/7 on the weekends here at Best Bet. The later it gets, the worse they play, historically speaking. King 9-6, 2 heart flop. Christian going to fire 115. Thomas only has $88 left here. He's going to have to fold his 6. Fred's got a 6 as well. Wow, he's going to make the call. Smells something fishy in the air. Cody, gut shot. Queen 10, no backdoor flush draw, is going to make the call as well. Okay, Christian is going to bink his gut shot. Cody's going to actually make a pair. Christian's going to jam it all in here with the nuts, hoping somebody has some pair plus flush draws. 2 pair, that's a good 2 pair card. Unfortunately, Cody was just sitting there with just a 10. Although he does have a gut shot as well, he doesn't know that it's only to a chop. Cody deliberating long and hard on this one. Again, what could Christian be bluffing into? He bet 115 on the flop and got snap called in 2 spots. Now he jambos the turn. Cody's going to call him with his 10. Ace of hearts on the river, not going to change anything. And Cody's going to hand the chips over. Big pot there from Christian. Opening up the Queen Jack of Diamonds and defending the 3-bet. Turns the nuts and gets paid. Looks like Thomas is going to be adding on more chips, and we may be getting a new player here in the 1 seat. Here's our winnings right now. William up over 1,000. Christian nearly up 1,000. Thomas down about 1,000. Fred K hovering around even. William hung and Christian crushing this game so far. Here's our VPIP percentages. Thomas leading the way at 45%. We saw William playing the tightest of anyone at the table. Like I said, he's only played a few hands, and he's still up the most. He's had some big double ups with pocket kings both times. Found him a couple locals that don't like to fold. Looks like Fred's going to be straddling the button here to $4. Jamie, the ace-jack again. Just going to limp under the gun. Limped pot. Dustin's going to fire $6 with his deuce. Jamie calls ace high. Fred calls with his 3. Seven of hearts on the turn. Doesn't change anything. Check, check, check. Fred's 3 is ahead right now. Looks like the river goes check, check as well. And Fred is going to take it home with the 3. Couple players up from the table right now, so we're going to be playing 7-handed. No problem. These guys are going to be action no matter what. You see these stacks are getting pretty big. We started with a 500 max. Now we have several players with over 1,000. Looks like Fred straddled the button that hand, and it just folds all the way to him. You are tuned in to Best Bet Live, streaming out of Jacksonville, Florida. Best Bet Poker Room. $500 max buy-in 2-2 game. Looks like Fred's going to open up the 2-3 offsuit to 15. Fred's feeling it right now. Dustin calls the button, ace-9 off. And looks like we're going to have a new player here in the 1 seat. Flop king, king, queen. Fred with the 3 high. Leads out 15. Dustin folds his ace 9 high. Fred can open the 2-3 and take it down on the flop. We need some like fake chip shuffling ambient sound for these moments. We're having a little bit of audio issues tonight. Usually we have table audio, which you can hear the players talking back and forth. You can hear the chip shuffling. We also usually have a couple more guys in the booth, but their microphones are acting up tonight. So you're stuck here with just me. I'm Eddie Marskoski, local tournament donk and commentator, live stream commentator here in Jacksonville. Happy to be with you. Happy you guys decided to join me tonight. Robert Dial on Facebook saying this is the weakest table I've ever watched. I can't disagree with you. This game looks pretty juicy. Trey's going to open 2 aces to $10. And he's going to get 3 callers. GP with the 6-3 of diamonds, Jordan the king jack of hearts, and Jamie on the button straddle hand with a mystery hand. Uh-oh. Trouble here for Trey. Flop comes 8-6-3. GP's going to flop bottom 2 pair. Trey leads out 40, full pot. I like a raise here if I got the 2 pair, and GP does raise. Makes it 110. All right, we're going to see a big pot here. Trey's got 689. GP's got about the same. GP's just wondering how we can get stacks in. Uh-oh. Trey's grabbing more than 110. Raisy daisy, 225. GP most likely just going to be putting all his chips in the middle here. We know Trey opened pre-flop. Is Trey opening pocket 3s? Probably not. Matter of fact, we saw Trey fold pocket 3s earlier on the button to a $15 raise. So he's probably not going to be opening pocket 3s. Yep, GP does ship it all in for $692. It's nearly what Trey has left. Now Trey's going to have to figure out what to do here. I don't see him folding. GP could have a lot of these club draws. If he does have a hand like 8-6 or 3-6 even, you have outs when you have aces, a lot of counterfeit outs. Like we see right there, ace is still 30% to win this. Still wins this thing a little less than a third of the time. Even up against 2 pair. Trey gonna take his time though. Of course, along with the 2 pairs, all the sets are in GP's range as well. He would have just flatted the $10 raise with pocket 8s, pocket 3s, pocket 6s. But he also has a lot of club draws, nut flush draws, straight and flush draws, 2 pair. Probably doesn't have any over pairs because we know GP has been rather aggressive pre-flop tonight. So if he did have an over pair, if he'd had 9s plus, he would have likely raised Trey pre-flop. So Trey's just trying to count down his combination of flushes, which is all of them, because these guys are calling with all kinds of suited cards. We've seen Queen 6, Jack 3. We've seen it all tonight. Whoa, Trey able to get away from the pocket aces there. Looks like GP's showed him. Showed him the 2 pair. GP picks up over $300 without seeing a turn card. Pretty sweet. It's a 2-2 game. 150 big blinds without a showdown. We'll be here all night, guys. Rocket Ray Walsh, welcome to the stream, buddy. Thanks for tuning in. I'm your commentator, Eddie Marskoski, tonight. Happy to be here to bring you all the action. And tonight has been a game filled with action. No shortage. Seen some button straddles of 10 right out the gate. We've seen some zero equity bluff jams, some big folds, big calls. Seen it all tonight. These guys are not afraid to get it in. Quincy Howard in the Facebook chat saying, how long are you going to stream? I believe we're going to go probably till about 12:15 or so. I think they're going to have these guys pack it up probably in about 10 or 15 minutes. And then after that, there's another 10 or 15 minutes for our delay. So you probably got another good 25 minutes of poker to watch. Victory Cruz on Twitch says, I don't know if that was a good fold. He even had the ace of clubs. Well, a couple ways you can look at that, Victory Cruz. Being as how he had the ace of clubs, I know you're saying he even has some backdoor equity, right? But you're also taking away all those bluff hands that you want your opponent to have. When he makes the call with 2 aces, you want your opponent to have ace X of clubs, because that's a hand that you have fairly dominated. Now, when you have the ace X of clubs, now you know that he doesn't have the ace X of clubs. So now his bluffs, a lot of his bluff hands are taken out, which actually makes his actual hand weighted more towards value. So now we can only really give him the straight and flush draw combinations, and then other value hands. And like we said before, he probably doesn't have a lot of overpairs to us. So a value hand on that flop is 2 pair plus. You want to consider the backdoor flush draws when when you're playing out a hand. So if you're deciding on calling a re-raise on the flop, and you say, okay, well, I do have the ace of clubs, so if it comes a club on the turn, I know I'm going to be calling another street, so I can continue. Like, that's a situation where you want to make the call. Now, if you're thinking about an all-in situation, you don't want to have a card that you want your opponent to have. So definitely a little different scenario between playing out a board and the all-in situation on the flop. Robert Dial says, jump in there, Eddie. Take their money, show them how to play real poker. Let me tell you something. Had I known this game was going to be this good, I would be in there. I had no idea it was going to be like this. This is better than the 2-5 live stream we played the other night. I'd have much rather played in this game. Fred's going to open mystery cards, $20 under the gun here. Looks like Dustin flats with 2 queens. Uh-oh. GP, who straddled this to 4, decides to 3-bet with the pocket 5s. I'm not a fan of this, especially with this hand class. These pocket pairs go so well multi-way. I'm not a big fan of going into these big 4 and 5 way pots, but if I do, I'd like to have small pairs. Like I'd like to have small pairs or suited aces, so I can flop sets or flop flushes and not be flush over flushed. Now we know you can get set over set at times, but I'll take it every time if it happens. And also with fives, you can set over set 4s and 3s and 2s. So that being said, I don't actually love a 3-bet here because we're actually losing value. Even if we win the pot, we're actually losing value a lot because on these type of hands, we can win monster pots post flop. Anyhow, GP does 3-bet the pocket fives up to 104. Uh-oh. And Fred called with his 9-10, I believe it was, 9-10 suited, called the 104, cold called from the straddle. And now Dustin gets the big re-raise. This is what he was setting up when he just flatted the 20. He's hoping somebody would get out of line so he could put in the big re-raise, and he does to 350. Fred's going to do it again. Fred did the same thing earlier and got a guy to fold ace queen suited. Dustin snap calls the 2 queens this time. Yeah, not going to work again, Dustin, or Fred, excuse me. I believe Fred has 9-10. Yeah, Fred's going to double up What? Yeah, Fred's going to double them up. They both had around 770. Monster pot here. 800 big blind pot. Pocket queens gets it all in. Excuse me, no 9-10. What was I talking about? Fred had the ace king. Counting those chips to double them up. Fred is going to get the double up. Those graphics were wrong earlier. Makes more sense this way. Flatted the 100. Stick it in with ace king. Binks the ace. Oof, Dustin. 2 queens going down. Monster pot. We did see the 5 just bink the turn. If somehow, yeah, even if GP just flats, I still think Fred is going to put a pretty big raise in, and Dustin's still going to raise his queens. So I don't think GP could have ever seen the 5 on the turn. Nonetheless, definitely wasn't going to see it the way he played it. Monster pot here goes to Fred. Fred winning a big flip with ace king. Fred straddles under the gun, wakes up with ace king, sees that GP makes it 104 from the button. He flats. Dustin, who had flatted the 20, makes it 350 with queens. Fred says, let's play for 770. Dustin says, okay. They play a monster, and Fred hits the ace to take it all down. Looks like Dustin's going to quick rebuy. Looks like he's going to be buying in for 500. Or he has some chips left. Oh, there he goes. Yeah, 500 full. Guns 3-3 and Twitch chat says, I never run it more than once. Well, I tell you what, here at Best Bet, you can run it more than once in games that are time raked. But in these games that are individually hand raked, they're not going to let you run it. So when you get all in these 2-2 games, they just run it out. There's no running it twice. Now, if you're playing 5-10 and above in a time raked game, where they're coming every half hour to pick up their rake, they'll do whatever you want because you're not slowing down their business at that point. But here at 2-2, you only got that one option just once. Queen high, the best hand here. No reason to bluff for Thomas. He doesn't know that. He is going to bluff at it. Going to get Trey to fold the jack high. Christopher Peters in the Facebook chat. Didn't see you there. Welcome to the stream, sir. Looks like we may be losing Dustin here. GP is going to raise up the ace jack offsuit from the hijack. $10 to go. Ace 7 of diamonds here for Trey. He's going to limp in. Small blind and big blind going to check their options. $10-9-9 flop goes check, check, check. Turn goes check, check, check. And Trey's going to river a 7. Not another dollar put in after the limp spree. Button straddle here. Our new player, not sure what his name is. Saw he bought in for 500. I bet we'll figure out his name this hand. We saw Cody in that one seat before. Got it all in with the queen 10 on, with the 10 on the turn. Decided not to rebuy. Have a super long list for this game. Looks like this button excuse me. The one seat on the button is Jordan. He is not all in for $4. He just straddled the 4. Looks like Fred limped the cutoff. William did not raise to 20. Graphics need some time to catch up. Jordan does put a stick of dynamite out there on the river. $100 to go. And Fred tanking on this one. We know Fred's got a 3. He limped ace 3. Thinking about looking Jordan up here. And he makes the fold. We'll never know. Jordan's mystery hand. Welcome to the table, sir. First pot played. First pot won. All right, you see it down at the bottom of your screen there. WPT Deep Stacks Tournament Series starting March 20th through March 30th. Culminating in a $300K guarantee, $1,500 main event. Always brings out a really good turnout. We'll also have a $100K, $350 buy-in as event 1. And a lot of good side events in the middle as well. Really going to be a good week and a half of poker. Always is up here at Best Bet. When the tournament series comes in, cash games get juicier because there's just a lot of players in from out of town. And whenever they bust a tournament, they don't want to go sit back in their hotel room. They want to jump into cash games. So good time to make some money up here. Very profitable plus EV situation. If you're in the area around the time, I suggest you come on down. Try to make a couple bucks. Interesting flop here. Ace, queen, 8, 2 spades. Dustin is going to raise his flush draw. Christian bets and then calls the raise. Dustin going to continue bluffing here on the turn. 124 in the middle. Dustin bets 65. About half pot. Christian ain't going anywhere with his top pair, top kicker. Certainly not now. Red deuces is the run out. Is Dustin going to continue? No way 10 high is going to be good. But this doesn't look like a board where you can get a guy to fold an ace. Even if, say, Christian had, let's say he had ace 10. Now his 10 doesn't matter. He has aces and deuces with a queen. So the only way that you can be beat is if the guy had ace king. It's just not a bluff that's likely going to get through. Good check back there from Dustin. Save some chips on that river. Christian wasn't going anywhere. It would, yeah, saves a stack. Christian's sitting there with 1,500, and you got 300. Very doubtful he's going to fold any ace on that river. Dustin took his shot with the 10-high flush draw. Goes brick, brick. On to the next. All right. Back to work here. Dustin's going to raise it up. 20 bucks with the ace 7 offsuit. Thomas going to let go of the king 3 suited. We see Fred sitting with about 1,700. Going to be one of our big winners tonight. That monster $1,500 pot with ace king versus queens. All in pre-flop, flops an A. Going to be one of our biggest pots of the night. Our biggest. All right, Dustin raises. Queen 9 of diamonds, 20. GP not going to fold the king queen from the big blind. Another action flop. King 7-3, 2 diamonds. GP, top pair. Dustin, another flush draw. Let's see if he can try to get this one through. We saw him just miss the 10 high flush draw. He bets 20. GP raises it up. A quick call from Dustin. Ace of clubs. Not the card GP wanted to see. Not going to slow him down nonetheless. $160, pretty big size here on this turn. The check raise was to 65. Now this is to 160. Dustin only has 300, less than 300. He's going to make the call, putting half his chips in the middle. Naked flush draw. He's going to need a diamond if he wants to win this one. Sure, no problem. There it is. Now GP hating this run out. Don't know how King Queen offsuit could ever be good. Your player only has $130 left. The pot's 500. Is there any way GP can check fold here? Is he going to try to put him in and somehow get called by worse? King 10, King 9. Don't really know what else he could have. Yeah, it's really nothing else. He puts them all in and Dustin says, oh yeah, I call. That was my gin card. We've seen Dustin on the troublesome end a few times tonight, and this time he finds himself on the good end. Gets himself a full double up. He's going to profit nearly $400 this hand. GP was doing a pretty good job of getting unstuck, but this is not going to help his case any. The sizing, really the turn sizing, affected his river play. Had he went smaller on the turn, you can check and give up that river. He went so big on the turn, it almost looked like he was bluff, like it was a bluff size, but interesting. Looks like we have a button straddle of 4. And Williams going to pop it up to 20 with the ace jack of diamonds. Kristen, who straddled the button, isn't going to be going anywhere. Queen jack of spades. To the flop we go. And what do you know? It's jack high. Getting some action flops here at the tail end of our session. William down bets 15. Kristen calls. 3 of hearts, putting 3 hearts out there now. Goes check, check. 4 of diamonds. Now there's 3 hearts and a one-liner to a straight. William forced to check his top pair, top kickers. Kristen thinking about getting a little value. And William snap calls the $15 bet. And takes home a $56 profit. Miss Terry McCree, welcome to the stream, ma'am. Thanks for joining. Good to have you. All right, another button straddle. GP is going to straddle it to $4. Fred, ace king offsuit's going to raise it up 25. Dustin fresh off a double up. Ace Jack offsuit. Uh-oh. Thought he was grabbing those green chips to raise. He's not. He's just going to flat call. Thank you, Miss Terry. I appreciate that, ma'am. Dustin flats now to Trey with pocket tens. He's going to flat call from the hijack. GP straddled this thing. You don't think he's going to fold, do you? We're going to go 5 ways for 25 to the flop. Come on down to Jacksonville best bet. We're not locking the doors tonight. We're going to keep them open all the way through Sunday night. Nine, 5, 3, 2 clubs. Check to Trey. He's got the overpair. This is a big bet from Trey. 130, betting full pot. Not a lot going on out there. Trey's going to take it down with his overpair. Going to profit a little over $100 that hand. And we go on to the next. Kaylin Taft in the Facebook chat says, what's your take on table noise during big hands and tough decisions? Well, I can just say what I do. I try to give people quiet time during their tough decisions. I think there's some scenarios where people tank a little bit too much, and if the scenario doesn't really call for, a lot of discretion, kind of just play from hand to hand. But if it's a big spot in a big tournament late at the end for someone's whole stack, you just you like to be quiet and give them their time, because when you're in that situation, you would like for people to be respectful of your time. Butt Slam Bandit on Twitch says, almost made it to the stream, played all day and got tired, second on the list. That's right. We had a 28-plus person list for this and only one player left. So we only used one of those 28 names. Looks like you bubbled this one, Butt Slam. That's tough. Three raise for 20 a man here. Jack, Jack, 3, 2 spades. We see Jamie's got the 8 high flush draw. This flop's going to go checked around. 6 on the turn, no pairs anywhere. Jamie going to go ahead and bet that 8 high flush draw. 25. Looks like it's going to be enough to take it down. And it is. Well, it looks like we're going to be wrapping up tonight's action. These players racking up their chips. Live stream is done. And that doesn't mean the game is done. A lot of these players are going to go right back into the field, sit at another table. And if any of the players wanted, which this may be happening since the auto is not working, I'm not sure. But they can even take this entire table and just move it a little to the left, go sit at another table and play with the same lineup. Best bet. Very accommodating in these situations. Anything the players want to do, they like to try to make happen. Our big winner, William Hung, American Idol, up $1,108. Christian, right behind him, up $1,043. Our big loser tonight, Jordan, which is not Jordan. That was a combination of the one seats. Cody was in the one seat, and then Jordan came in at the end. But I don't think Jordan lost anything. So that's all Cody down there losing $1,200. There you see Jamie making a modest $80 after that big hand with GP, down 446. So that's going to be it. On behalf of Best Bet and Dustin and Jordan, I am Eddie Marskoski, thanking you for joining. And as always, poker players, remember, keep repping the nuts.